to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house, not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for getting in early, showing up to this live stream, and who's ready for some football? I am. It is so wonderful seeing all of you here. Hello, everyone also who came early. I saw Thomas in right away. DJ Brady, thank you so much for putting all of my links into the chat so everyone could just easily access the daily report and all of my fun things, Substack, etc. Head over to my website. Hello, Super James. You got here super early. Super pro, you too. And hello, Anthony, Tuck Science, Spencer, Brian, Derek, Ken. This is wonderful. Everyone's here this morning. I love it. Who's ready to win some wagers? I sure am. All right. So before we get started, please, if you haven't already started following my stream, started following my channels, please click subscribe and do so. If you haven't signed up for my free daily emails, you know where they're at, arielcalista.com. Just click on this little stay in touch button. It's free, it's easy to sign up, and let's do some winning today. Alrighty, so let's just go over our current ROIs before we get started. You know, everything's okay. Everything is okay so far. Right now in Major League Baseball, we're sitting at a 44.3% ROI. We have had a 69.3% win rate, 69.3% win rate, and we've played 293 units this baseball season. Then in the WNBA, we haven't been playing so many units lately, but we're still sitting at a 76% win rate and a 46.1% ROI on 75 units. And then in college football, we're sitting at a 27.3% ROI on a 75% win rate. We've only played 12 units so far, but you know, we are doing it. Absolutely. The season just started and yeah. Hey Craig, nice seeing you. Yeah, the WNBA has been a little bit slow today, but don't tell Tyler the WNBA is over. I mean, I'm sure he's still following it like regularly, like a pro. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are just our numbers. Now, football, obviously, it was a little bit off to a rocky start for us, but it's early on in the season. The Eagles won, but they didn't cover. But you know what? Today, we've had plays that we've locked in for days now that we really like, that I still really like today, and I think we're just going to do a lot of winning. No, I would say do not be worried, Victor. We are going to go right over that line and exactly why this line on the Cardinals moved. Oh, that was crazy, Chuck Science. What a wild storm. I mean, I was gonna barbecue on the grill, like flip some burgers. Well, it got rained out, but you know what? It doesn't mean that we can't have it again some other time, you know, have our own little tailgate party. But it's raining again today, so I'm inside. I knew the weather was going to be bad when I woke up this morning, and it's been raining, and it's just been raining all day. Hey David, nice seeing you. Welcome into the live stream. So wonderful seeing all of you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Now, before we get started, I did go outside anyways. That was fun. Look at some of this fresh. Guess what I'm smoking today? Guess what? Alaskan Thunderfuck. That is the strain we are enjoying today. It is powerful. It is hard hitting, just like we want all of our wagers to be today. So Yes, I am smoking a strain. It is a long recognized sativa strain. So it's perfect in the morning to really get us up, focused, ready to win some of our wagers. And it is so fresh. I am loving it. Got a few seeds in here as well. So, next year I am going to be growing everything. This year was a little bit of an odd year for cannabis, trying to grow it outside, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Next year will be better. That's just the way it goes, dealing with the elements sometimes. All right. So, before we get started, I always like to say sit back, relax, and get your minds right to win some wagers. Oh, that is a strong one. Definitely starting my morning right. Thanks, Super Pro. You know what? I wanted to tie it all together today, and I think you guys are going to love this cannabis segment here at the end. If you guys stick around for that, it's a lot of fun. And I really did tie in, football, cannabis, and I think it just goes hand in hand together. I know a lot of people out there, you're probably sitting around with your friends, having a beer, and that's cool too. That's cool too. But you know what? I think as cannabis is becoming more and more accepted in popularity and pop culture, it's definitely becoming a thing for these nice football Sundays. Definitely. Absolutely. It made my eyes water a little bit, but you know what? We are having fun here, and it is a good hit. That was strong indeed. Yeah, it just is like cerebral. It's a very powerful strain, and it actually comes from Alaska. Just love cannabis. It could grow anywhere. Like it grows in Hawaii, it grows in Alaska. Cannabis is just a wonderful plant. So before we dive into football, I know you guys are wanting to hear all about that. I was thinking we start off with Major League Baseball. Since we've been doing so well this past season, this is one of our highest ROIs in baseball ever. I want to find some more plays. Let's find some spots and let's do some winning. So the first couple of plays that I like are actually in some early games at 12 o'clock this afternoon. In just an hour from now, the Mariners are facing off against the Braves. So I have been watching a money line here, and I have been watching the total. So there are two plays that I really like in this game, and let's just dive right on into it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the health corner and my free daily emails. If you haven't joined, here's how to do so. But yeah, that was really interesting. Just seeing how all of these players right now used to celebrate by going getting a beer after winning a game. But right now, they're focused on their health, their happiness, and improving themselves, which is a lot healthier in the long term. So yeah, I'm happy for them. All drinking cherry juice in the locker rooms after a game, after practice. And yeah, that's interesting. And then of course, Major League Baseball, CBD, that's been a thing for a while now. Where they're actually have official like CBD, sponsors, partners, things like that. All right. So first, let's talk about the Seattle money line. This is really interesting because the Mariners opened up at plus 105, right? So they were the underdogs at the open, but quickly this moved to minus 114. And there has been quite a few pros jumping in on this Mariners money line. So this is really developed. I like seeing the pro money here on the Mariners money line. And You know, it hasn't really quite reached a level of significance right now, but the money is looking very sharp, which I like to see. And the line is going in the right direction. So it's going with all of the sharp money, flipping from plus 105 all the way out to minus 114. So that's interesting to see. I like seeing the pro money here, and I would say this Mariners money line is looking like a very solid play at this moment. So I like it. I like the way that this line is moved, and it's going in the right direction with the house. So when the house is moving in this direction, all the sharps are taking it. I think this is looking like a solid Mariners money line. But now let's look at the total in this game, because this was a huge move. And in fact, I even see this moving up to just a few seconds ago. Like, this is crazy. This is moving in real time right now, but this is also not surprising because we are, I mean, not exactly an hour away from the game, but we're pretty close. That song got really loud. Sorry guys, playing DJ over here. All right, so let's look at this total in this Mariners-Braves game and like examine this thoroughly. So it opened over 9 even money, but then it started moving pretty fast. It went to over 9.5, minus 109. But there was level 5 money on this over. So all of the money, and on my grading scale, 1 is, you know, it's the first level significance of money, and level 5 is the most. So a ton of money. Started hammering this over. And so of course it went from 9 to 9.5, and right now it's sitting over 10. Everyone has just moved it to over 10, minus 105, where it's sitting at right now. So yeah, you might prefer the Seattle money line for sure. This over is getting a little crazy. It seems like everybody is hammering the over here. I liked it a little bit better at over 9.5. But I do see a lot of people hammering the over here, and this line has moved in the right direction. So something to look at. Okay, you just got over 9.5 on Bet Rivers. Line shop around, people. That's important. Seriously, sometimes it's the difference between a win or a loss, and line shopping's important. So you could find it. Super James is dropping that you could get the 9.5 on Bet Rivers. Some sports books still haven't moved the line yet because some are just a little bit slower than others, especially if it's like a long time established like Las Vegas sports book that has been around for, I don't know, decades. You know, they're usually the fastest to really just change these lines, and then everyone else typically follows afterwards. So that is just a little helpful hint. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Oh my god, this Alaskan thunder. It's crazy. All right, and so yeah, it just moved to over 10, but you know, I still think this money line on Seattle is super sharp. And this over, yeah, you might want to search around, see if you could still get the over 9.5 in spots. But I really like this Mariners money line as well. So those are 2 strong plays in this game. And yeah, it's happening in less than an hour from now. So you definitely want to lock in your plays early here. And also just thank you everyone for coming to this stream and getting in these early plays and joining me bright and early in the morning. I know typically the daily report goes out, you know, usually around noon, you know, sometimes a few hours after, just depending on how these games are developing and how I see the plays going in the day. So I appreciate everyone showing up with me early and locking in some early wagers. Let's do some winning. Alrighty. It's a money line for sure. Alright, now let's move on to another baseball play that I have been watching very carefully. Now this one is pretty interesting. This is a 1:30 p.m. Eastern game, and the Blue Jays are playing the Yankees. and I have been watching a run line here. This has been interesting. This Yankees run line opened up at -1.5, plus 150. Then it moved to plus 120 at only level 1 money. Only level 1 money. So it's only reaching the first level of significance. But, you know, there's starting to be like a lot of Yankees money on this run line. I think there could be even more money coming in, especially as people are, you know, waking up and playing this game. But right now, this is looking like some strong Yankees money. But what's really interesting about this game is just how much Vegas has moved this line on just a little bit of money. So I like this play a lot. I think this is looking like a solid run line. Oh, I wish that too. I wish you could definitely plant a tree on the money line and have a money tree. That would be great, right? I think that needs to happen at like the Ari Bets AI casino. That would be so crazy, right? Ooh, Victor, you like the Browns plus 5.5? I don't know about all that yet. I I'm gonna get there. I am gonna cover that game. But right now I'm just not seeing anything happen on this spread. I'm seeing more happen on the total, if anything, but right now this this Browns Bengals game, I don't exactly have a play in right now at this very moment, Victor. Hey Ben, how you doing? How do I approach this Ravens Bills game? Ooh, okay. Let's talk about that for sure. This is an interesting one. You know, right now all of these signals that I'm seeing are saying Baltimore Ravens, like all of the signals, but right now I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to see how this goes. This is an 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, so we do have some time until this game happens. So at this very moment, I'm just waiting to see how it develops. I would like to see it develop a little bit more, but right now I'm seeing all of these signals saying Baltimore. But I just want to wait. I just want to wait. I just want to see how this will develop, and I think it might develop a little bit more. Um, so it's a little borderline right now at this very moment. I would just like to see how it moves. If it develops into a play, if it starts meeting my parameters. So this one is still a wait and see at this very moment. That's funny, Super Pro. Yeah, definitely just waiting and seeing on this Baltimore game. All right, so just one more movement that I've been tracking in Major League Baseball before we move on. And that's been in the Nationals Cubs game. This is a 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and I have been tracking this total. It hasn't quite risen to the level of an action play right now for me, but I'm tracking it. I'm just watching and seeing how it goes. But it does look like it's starting, like all signs are starting to point towards the under at this moment. It went from under 8.5 -110 to under 8 -110 against level 4 over money. So all the money is coming in on over, but Vegas is moving this line against the money here. So that's interesting. And right now it moved even further to under 7.5 -115. So right now I something about this total is, you know, just I don't know, it's not quite sitting right with me right now. I think maybe they've hit the equilibrium point at 7.5 -115, but there's just so much money on the over, and Vegas is moving this line in the opposite direction. Yeah, you're right. It is a head scratcher because it's I don't know. It's moving against all of the money, and normally I would expect it to move with the money. So I'm just kind of staying away from this one for now. But I do think we have some solid plays in baseball. Make sure to lock them in early. Three solid plays that I really love right now, and that is the Seattle money line. I really like this. I would say if you could still find over 9.5, line shop around. This is very important. That's still looking like a solid overplay in this Mariners Braves game. So you could grab the Seattle money line. You could grab this total as well, but shop around a little bit. And I also think this Yankees run line is looking really solid here. So yeah, I mean, even though the Yankees run line is sitting at plus 120, you could still find it at plus 125 in some spots. So I would say look around, try to get that plus 125 number, right? Thanks so much for all of these emotes. Okay. You guys have some props you want me to look at? All right, well, I will definitely look at some of those, but you know what? I have mostly been just looking at the game lines themselves, doing a deep analysis on that, and send me an email with some of these props because I do need to do like a deeper analysis on this. I've been looking at a lot of these lines, to be honest. Some totals here, a lot of spreads. But I know some of you guys want me to bring the props back, and I can definitely do that. We were doing pretty well with our props before, so let me know if that's something you want to see back on this show. And that's something I can bring to you guys for sure if you want to see it. Alrighty, so let's just dive into some of these games. I just want to go over my favorite plays in the NFL today. But before we do that, I do want to just talk about overreactions in the NFL. Now, if you haven't already seen my week 1 NFL betting video over on YouTube, or if you weren't here for the last stream, last live stream, I did show it on Thursday, but I do have it live on my YouTube channel for everyone to watch. I also, yeah, I mean, I think it's out there. I posted it, and yeah, just make sure to check it out because I do go over like a lot of trends on just how the public bets during week 1, and also how there's just a lot of like all the Vegas sports books, there's a lot of perception going on, and that's influencing a lot of these lines, like crazy. For example, let's just talk about Green Bay. Micah Parsons. That's the perfect example of a huge overreaction going on here. I mean, first of all, yes, he's a great defensive player, absolutely, but I think there's just a huge overreaction going on when it comes to betting, and that's influencing this line like it's like crazy. I mean, seriously, I mean, I'm watching this line, and the Packers went from plus 1.5 to minus 2.5. So, yeah, a huge amount of public perception is going on. So as you're betting, as you're looking at these lines, just keep that in the back of your mind. Like, are these lines moving because of the public perception of them? Or, is it really, is it a real move? And, it's really interesting, like seeing other gamblers and how they go about their strategies. For example, like I'm reading, of course, Billy Walters' book, and he actually outlines his whole strategy and how, he grades all the players and, does it with points, and that adds up to like the spread. And, yeah, it's okay. You guys want some props? Oh no. Yeah, no, I mean the books do juice the props a lot. That's true. They really do. I mean, like more than anything. But yeah, it's just interesting seeing how different handicappers they're, grading a lot of these like moves, for example, like the Micah Parsons move. So they're grading this, but then you see the public perception, and the public perception is just a huge, overwhelming reaction, like an overreaction. And sometimes that's really where you could find maybe potential value if you're looking carefully. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's, don't even get me started on all the sports betting writers out there influencing public perception. It is getting crazy. And if you think the sports books aren't out there, also, taking all of this information coming from these news feeds and, running it through AI, basically doing sentient analysis on all of these articles, sentiment sentiment house. So I don't know. I must be a little high off the train. Sentiment analysis of all these articles. Then they're actually like seeing what are the people thinking out there. They're looking at example Reddit or Twitter using their API keys and making sure that they understand what the public is thinking so that the books could react. So when the public reacts, the books have already reacted. They already know. So definitely something to watch out for. So let's just dive into the NFL. you know, I know a lot of people out there looking at Packers suddenly being like the team to beat. I think if there is a sneaky game at all this week, I would say it might just be the Panthers beating the Jags. That's just my opinion. Let's take a look at some of these lines. So the first game, the Bucks are facing off against the Falcons at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and right now this game is just looking kind of dead on the board. I have not seen a ton of movement here, and I would like to see a little bit more movement. Yeah. I know. I'm already saying, I'm already saying the wrong words. This is a powerful strain. I like it. Straight out of Alaska. You know what? I went to Alaska once when I was little, and I loved it there. It's like, oh, so cool. I thought it was so cool. Like, little kid me was like, oh my gosh, you could just eat like freshly grown celery right out of the ground. I don't know. Born in the desert, that's like not a thing. There's like no food just growing naturally. Okay, so yeah, this Bucks Falcons game, it's at 1 o'clock. It's just dead. I'm not really seeing any movement here. If there is movement, maybe we'll see it later on. Of course, this daily report is going to go out before 1 o'clock, before the games happen. So make sure to sign up for it at arielcalista.com. Click the Stay in Touch button. It will have the line analysis if it does start moving, and if there is a little bit of money fluctuation coming in. That's funny, Super James. It is a party strain, definitely. But I'm feeling very awake, which I like, it being a sativa strain. Just good for the morning. All right, so let's look at this Panthers-Jaguars game at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Now, I think this might be a little bit of a sneaky upset for the Panthers, but the spread's currently sitting at +4.5. Let's skip over to a game that I really, really like, and a lot of you guys have already been asking about, and that's the Cardinals versus Saints. This is a 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and I have been loving loving this Cardinals spread. It opened up at -4.5, went to -6.5. There was a lot of pro money coming in on the Cardinals early, and I love this game all week long. I told you guys to play it early, and right now, it's sitting at -6. But there's still a lot of pro money in here on the Cardinals, so I'm not worried about it. A couple of non-Vegas books have moved it to -5.5. So if you're not in Las Vegas right now, not in Nevada, you might even be able to catch this at -5.5. But, I just really like this play still because there's so many pros still on this line, and I, only see it pulling back just a little bit of, Joe's coming in here, which is making the line move a little bit, but I would not be too worried about it because there's a lot of pro money, and this line did move initially in the right direction, pretty strong, backed by a bunch of pro money. And honestly, in my opinion, I just think that the Saints might be potentially the worst team this year in football. What do you guys think? That's just my opinion, though. We still have to see. Uh, okay. I see you guys like it too. Craig, Thomas. Yeah, exactly. They are playing against the Saints. So I would say at this moment, it's still looking like a really solid play. And, even if you could get out at -5.5, go for it, for sure. But moved early. It was a strong, solid move, and it was backed by a lot of pro money. So I love to see that happen when the line and the money are moving in the same direction. Yeah, the Saints are not looking good, and yeah, maybe they should be in the ICU for sure. Um, no, Saints will come marching in. You guys. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a good day for the Arizona Cardinals, and I really like this play. Lots of pros are on this, and I think it's looking super solid. And of course, I had to wear a little bit of, I think this shows like a little bit of red today on my dress. A little bit, kind of mixed colors, I don't know, but yeah, this is a play that I liked. I highlighted it in the daily report early, so I thought I had to wear a little bit of, just kind of a little bit of red, a little bit of orange. My two favorite colors for today, right? Let's win some of these plays. Thank you. Yeah, I got the red going on, the orange going on. I was like, okay, let's just have some team spirit in this little outfit. It's a little look. Alrighty. Now, let's talk about this total. Thank you so much. Glad you guys are liking the look. Definitely had to support the Cardinals. Now, let's talk about this total. It opened up at 41.5, went to 44.5. There's level 1 money on the under, though, but there are some sharps on the over. Right now, I don't exactly have a play on this total at the moment, but I would keep my eye on it. Just interesting how this line is moving up with a little bit of sharp money, but it seems like a majority of the money is on the under, and Vegas is moving against that, but some of the pros are taking it over. Don't have a super solid play here right now. I still love this Cardinal spread. So yeah, hey Noel. Yes, tie-dyed. Team spirit. All right. So yeah, I think this is a solid play still at this moment. And just watch the total. At this moment, I don't have a play here, but just keep your eye on it. Now, let's go to another game that I really, really love today. And This is the Titans versus Broncos game. This is a 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and this Denver spread opened up at -7, went to -8, and there was a lot of pro money. Yeah, a lot of pro money here on this spread. So I like seeing that happen. Definitely. Yeah, too much sharp money. Don't get a paper cut. Ah, I see. Okay. The cards are losing support. Well, gotta show up in the morning. That's important. But ill quarterbacks often play more focused. That is an odd statistic, but yeah. Okay. He might be more focused, and still is looking like a good spread to take. Ooh, do I like the Colts and over? I will get to that in just a second after we wrap up this Titans-Broncos game. So, like I said, Broncos opened up at -7. I took them at -7.5 when they started moving out early initially. Then they're sitting all the way at -8.5 right now on some super sharp Broncos money. It's not quite at the first level of significance yet, but it is looking like a ton of pros are coming, or they're just playing the Broncos. Like, they're hopping all over this one. And I have really liked this play almost all week. It's just looks super solid this entire time. And I think this is still a nice little spread to lock in here. Hey Mendoza, how you doing? Thank you. Had to dress in some team spirit today. Of course. So I guess I do have like all my favorite colors like right here on my dress, right? It kind of works for all my plays. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's a look. Alrighty. Alright. So I do like this Broncos spread a lot. It's been looking good all week. Okay. And now you are asking about the Colts and over. Let's take a look at this game. So I have been tracking this. You know, right now the total hasn't really been moving a ton. But let's just see if there's any more movement since we've last looked. It just looks like it's kind of sitting there. I do see a lot of people are, playing the under, but at this moment, this line is just kind of holding steady despite like a lot of, money. It's just not really moving. So to me, it just doesn't look like, Vegas is really taking a stand here on this total at this very moment. So that is... so I don't really have a play on this total here at this moment in this Dolphins-Colts game, but I am looking at this, and it does look like the Dolphins, they might be a good slight underdog against the Colts. And that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. It's just more of a lean at this moment. Not even really a lean, I would say. But I would say, the Dolphins are looking like they might be good, potentially. Slightly an underdog against the Colts. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Broncos at -8.5. I think it's still solid, honestly. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry Tyler. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of under money going on in this game. But the line's holding just very, very steady. Vegas is not moving. They are very happy with this total. And, you know, I mean, I do realize, like, if you really start, like, watching these games, it's like opens, the opening numbers usually like very, very close to where the game ends up. And yeah, of course, of course. And I'm not playing the Dolphins right now, at this very moment, but I am thinking that they are looking pretty good. You know, just a thought, but not has not risen to the level of like even an action play for me at this very moment. Okay, you played the Steelers. Steelers against they're facing off against the Jets today at 1 o'clock. So let's cover this game because Aaron Rodgers is now playing for the Steelers and the Jets are sitting at +3. Um, yeah, I don't know about this one. I gotta admit, I'm not feeling super solid about the Steelers. Even with Rodgers, I'm just not feeling super solid. I think I don't know. This might be a tough day for them. That's for sure. But yeah, so I agree with you. I think Rodgers. I don't know. Like last year, it just felt like I don't know, a lot of a lot of stuff coming out from that team. Wherever Rogers is, it's like always a lot of news stories, you know. And sometimes you just want to like lay low, play the game, you know, give it your all out there, and like I can respect that. Just you know, focus on the game. Yeah, I mean the Steelers are a really good team. That's undeniable. But I don't know. I'm not feeling super confident in this game like at all. Hey Chris, nice seeing you here. It's all good. It is all good. Okay. So, let's cover another play that I like a lot, and that's the total in this Texans Rams game. This is a well, almost 4:30 p.m. Eastern game, 4:20 p.m. Eastern game. So this total opened up at 46.5, went down to 44 with level 1 money on the under as well. So Vegas and the money, they were moving in the same direction here. Right now it's sitting at 43.5 with level 2 money on the under. I would say this is still looking like a solid underplay. A lot of people are hopping on this under, and this line has just been continuously moving in this direction. So that's pretty interesting, seeing this under move, seeing all of the money come in on the under, and yeah, I'm thinking this might be a solid underplay in this Texans Rams game. It's looking very solid, so I like this as a play. This is one of my favorite plays here. Thanks for all the emojis. I love it. Thank you. Um, So that's what I'm looking at right now. I think this is looking like a nice little underplay for sure. But I do have a little play for you action players out there. And that's in the Niners Seahawks game. Who's ready for that? That's a 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. So, of course, first, I have been tracking the San Francisco spread. It opened up at -1.5, went out to -2.5 on mixed money. So, looked like it could potentially develop. But then it pulled all the way back to -1.5. So, right now, the money has just kind of disappeared. I'm not seeing anything great here on the spread, you know. And I'm not a fan at this very moment. I personally don't have a play here on the spread, but this total is looking very solid for the action players out there. So it's a little bit more of a lean for me at this very moment. So let's examine it. It opened up at 45.5. Then it dropped to 43 and a half. There was level 3 money on the under. So the money, the line, they were going in the same direction. Right now there is level 2 money on the under. So not quite as much money as before, but there's still a lot of money here. And yes, I do know that McCaffrey is playing with an ankle sprain. I do know that, but I am still liking the under here. I think this is going to be a solid underplay, but it's still a little bit more of a lean for me right now. It hasn't risen to the level of a full play, but it's looking like a solid action play. So yeah, for you action players out there. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, too many penalty yards. Yeah, that was a little bit sloppy, but yeah, no, that's not an easy injury for him to play with. And you know, I think this just might still be a bit of an underplay. It's looking like it's still an underplay. So we will see. We'll see. But I think right now, for you action players out there, just under, you know, the line has clearly moved with the money. And it looks like, you know, all the signals are pointing towards it going under at this moment. And so I do like, you know, seeing that when the line, the money are all moving in the same direction here. So those are my main plays on the board today. So let me just go over them one more time for you guys if you didn't lock it in already. For this football Sunday, we did cover my Major League Baseball plays earlier. I'll go over them at the end, but just right now for football, I do like this Cardinal spread. I've liked it all week long. I still like it, even with the Joes coming in, you know, making the spread go, you know, move around a little bit. I mean, you could still get it at -5.5 in some spots, but that's just Joe money coming in. At this point, I still like the Cardinals. There's a lot of pros on this spread. It's looking like a solid play. And I also really like this Broncos spread as well. I played it at -7.5. It's since moved to -8.5. I like this. I love this almost all week, and I think this is still looking really solid. And finally, my last super solid play is this under in this Texans-Rams game. I really like the under here. It has just moved with the house, with all of the money, and all the signals are pointing towards this game going under. But, you know, for you action players out there, I like also another under, and that's in the 49ers Seahawks game. So keep your eye on that. It is looking more like a lean right now, but it's looking like a nice little action play. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure, of course, it's the first Sunday of football season. You know, there are going to be a ton of people grabbing overs today. I know that. That's the public perception that we've talked about. But these unders seem to be developing, you know, super solidly today. So I am watching that because at the end of the day, you know, it's important to watch how Vegas is actually moving these lines in reaction, in response to money, or, you know, anticipating how the public is going to react. That is critical. So, you know, keeping track of these movements and, you know, seeing where the opening line is at, seeing where the look ahead line is at, seeing where the current line is at, and tracking that throughout the day, that is key. And of course, tracking the money movement. I mean, you got to do that. Know if it's Joe money influencing the line or if it's actually the pros influencing the line. Oh, wow. So you got the under 46.5 on the Texans game. Interesting. All right. That's like right where it opens. That is crazy. But also, some of these like non-Vegas sports books really do have some solid lines, and just some things to, you know, line shop around. I mean, that is key. It's so critical. You know, all professional bettors line shop. That Colts game, Victor, I just really have not seen the total go anywhere at this very moment. It has just kind of been sitting on the board. Um, let me see if there's any more movement now, but it's just kind of right where it opened. So I'm not seeing anything really develop at this very moment. Okay, Chuck Science throwing out that the Broncos could win by 16. So you're feeling super solid about that, about this Broncos play. I really like this. I mean, I would still take this at -8.5 for sure. So it's fun seeing you guys saying I'm gonna ladder that. You know, you probably can. Just a little ladder. I don't want you guys going too crazy, but yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a solid day for the Broncos. Yeah, I think a lot of people are all over this. Um, Broncos are already at 9. Oh my God. So it's already at -9. These, yeah, I think people are, I think people are really like starting to hop on this game. So you might want to grab it before it moves out even further. But, you know, I love when we see some of our professional handicappers in here in the audience saying that that they could win by 16 points. It makes me feel even more solid about this play. So thanks for coming in and dropping that information. Everything good over there, Super James? That's funny, Super Pro. Jojo, money. um, Okay, you have a little, you're laddering out this Denver spread. I like it. You might as well grab your little step stool, ladder out this Denver spread, and let's find some solid plus money plays here. I think this is looking good. I think this is a solid place where if you did want to have a little ladder today, this is the place to do so. And I love just seeing that, you know, all of the Vegas sports books are just moving this out more and more and more. So it's still going in the right direction, and you know, there's nothing saying otherwise at this very moment. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's just look at some of the other games that have been moving a little bit. You know, I have been watching this Giants Commanders game move a little bit. But right now, I just don't really see too much happening here on this money line. I think this is going to be a great game to watch. But just level 5 money on this Giants money line. But it's just kind of sitting there at this very moment. So I don't have a play. I have been looking at this Bengals Browns game, another 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. Total opened up at 45.5. Went up to 48.5 against level 4 under money, then pulled back a little bit to 47.5 with level 5 under money. So the money and the line are just not moving together here. So I'm not a fan of this play at this very moment. We did look at this Colts Dolphins game. This total has just been sitting there, so nothing really happening. I would like to see something happen, but at this moment, I just don't see it. But I do think that maybe the Dolphins might look like a good slight underdog here. Sorry, Tyler. But that's just, you know, kind of what I'm seeing develop. Like, there's literally nothing going on in this Raiders-Patriots game. Okay. Then we did talk about the Steelers-Jets game, you know, and of course Aaron Rodgers now playing for the Steelers. And I don't know. I think this is going to be a tough day for him. I don't think it's going to be as successful for the Steelers as... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this Jets +3 might be, I don't know, something you just want to keep your eye on at this moment. Hasn't risen to the level of a play. Just some more games to look at. The Lions versus Packers game. We have seen a huge overreaction here. Packers money line went from minus 105 to minus 130 on Joe money. Like, there is more Joe money on this Packers money line, like, than any other spot on the board, practically. Like, there's just so much mixed Joe money here. So I don't know. I'm not loving this. This is a huge overreaction. This is a classic example of people just overreacting like crazy. And then the Packers spread even went from plus 1.5 to minus 2.5 on level 2 Lions money. Right now there's level 3 Lions money. This money is looking pretty pro. Yet, like, this is just a huge overreaction just because of a trade. So I'm not really liking anything there at this very moment. It's, yeah. Oh, no. Are you guys talking about soccer? All right. So I have been watching this total as well. In this Packers game, it went from 49.5 to 47.5. There was level 5 money, then level 4, and level 2 right now, but it's just a lot of Joe money going on here, and I'm not a huge fan, of course. This I believe is still just, you know, a symptom of the overreaction. So I'm just staying away from this game altogether. I don't have a play here. At this very moment. And then, of course, we did talk, I don't think we actually covered this yet, did we? The Ravens versus the Bills. We did talk about it a little bit, but let's just dive into some of the numbers and what's going on here. So the Baltimore Ravens opened up plus 105, and now they're sitting at minus 120. So yeah, I saw it go from minus 108 to minus 122, and right now it's sitting at minus 120. And there is a bit of pro money coming in on Baltimore, which is interesting. And it's a lot of pro money coming in on this money line. So that's interesting. A lot of pros are hopping in on this money line. The spread is also going in the right direction. Plus 1.5 to minus 1.5, and this was on mixed money, even though there are quite a few pros jumping in and taking this Baltimore spread. And like I said, all of these signals are basically saying play Baltimore. But right now, I am waiting. I am waiting and I'm watching because this game is not for another 8 hours. So it's still a little bit of a lean. Oh boy. Probably both sportsbooks and social media companies definitely don't like me. Not a lot of Ari fans, so I'm grateful for you guys. But yeah, no, big corporations versus me. It's not pretty. Okay, so do you have a 43 total in the Texans-Rams game? I did see 43.5 earlier. Let's just see where it's at right now. I see 43 in some spots, 43.5 in some others. Yeah, it just really depends. You know, where you know, if you're line shopping or not. But yeah, I still see 43.5 and like about half the spots out there. Even some of the established like Vegas sportsbooks still have it at 43.5. So, you know, I think it just depends on where you go. Some sportsbooks really do like to move these lines a little bit harder and faster than others. So all right. Okay. So you're taking the under 43. Yeah, that's true. I know. I'm like, the sports bets don't like me. Well, I mean, I can't even imagine. I would love to do like, you know, some data analysis on like if I could actually see like what the sportsbook's data is for like all the play, all the all the people betting, and I would probably be like a crazy outlier. Thank you so much. I love all these emojis. I would probably be a crazy outlier because I don't play parlays, like ever. Never play parlay, ever. And I mean, we see how hard parlays are to hit. Like, it's not easy to hit a parlay. I mean, even 4 legs is hard to hit. 5 legs is even harder to hit, you know? Only 1 in 23 people will even hit like a 4 leg parlay at like -110 odds. So it's, you know, it's really difficult to just like hit parlays and do all of that. And, you know, also the sports books have so much, you know, I mean, they just have such an edge against you when you play parlays. Like, I never do that, but then I do straight bets and I just keep bringing my ROI up like crazy. And I'm sure like I'm in that like weird outlier. Like if I could see like all the different bettors, I'd be like in an outlier zone for sure. Oh no, I'm taking the sports. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the sports books money. They're not taking mine. Um, you know what? These poly markets are looking really interesting to me. I mean, I've done a little bit of exploring with them, and I would like to really start really playing heavily in these poly markets, especially now that we're seeing like, you know, all these things about legality and like, is it, you know, even legal to play in them? I mean, we're finding out right now that, you know, they're pretty much going ahead with like full acceptance almost everywhere. I mean, I know a lot of places are still trying to like squash them, but it is it is interesting to see. No, not losing. All right. So Monday, you know, the Vikings are playing the Bears. This is a very traditional rivalry, but at this moment, this game is just not looking super playable. It's just not. Nothing really happening there. I mean, all these places are starting to do props now. And yeah, multiple bets, like that's basically a parlay in a lot of ways. So it is an interesting like loophole, and it's also really interesting seeing how like even sports books are now trying to, you know, hop in on this loophole and work together with, you know, like these crypto companies, and companies that, you know, really know how to like administer these smart contracts and things like that. So it is interesting to see. Yeah, a lot of hype around that right now for sure. All right, so let's talk about the WNBA. I have not seen anything happen today. I have been tracking this Mystics money line. Mystics are facing off against the Fever at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. This Mystics money line went from plus 240 to plus 190 to back to plus 198. So not too much going on there. And I really have not seen any movement in the other 2 games. So I just don't have any plays in the WNBA. Tyler, if you're still here, please feel free to throw in your plays in the chat. Because I'm just not, yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. I love it. Hey DM, how are you doing? Nice, getting some nice dividend money every month. Love that, yeah. Yeah, DraftKings, I mean, but you know what? They are really doing a lot of interesting things. And a lot of the things that DraftKings, like the things that they're doing right now, they're introducing a lot of new things and a lot of new ways to really entice players to bet more and to bet in different ways. But also you just have to be careful, because well, sometimes when it looks like the sportsbook is giving you a win, it's a win for them. You know, you have to understand there's ultimately always a win for them. Just like this whole new subscription thing, like, oh, you know, you'll be able to get even more money on your props, like if you just pay $20 a month for a subscription. And there's just so many ways that this like psychologically like messes with your head, the fact that you feel like you need to play more props, and it's just like kind of it's really an addictive cycle. So you just have to be careful, because the sports books are using your psychology against you. So if you're not aware of your biases, if you're not tracking all of your bets, writing them down, analyzing them afterwards, you know, the sports books, you know, they have the upper hand, because the truth is they have the data and we don't. I mean, we have good data for sure, but we don't have data anywhere near on the level that they have. I mean, player fatigue, they're already tracking that, you know. Milliseconds for where exactly the ball is traveling using RFID since like 2018. They've had that. They've had that. Alrighty. Yeah, exactly. They give you some profit boost for sure, but how profitable is it to them in the end? Like, they're not, sports books are not giving anything away. Just trust me on that. They ran the math, they studied human psychology, and they realized this is going to be, we're going to like triple our profits here. And it's kind of true. Alrighty. A profit boost? Maybe when I first opened up my account, like before I actually started playing, but no, the last time I think a sportsbook has sent me a profit boost, I don't know. Like, they don't even send me emails. Like, they don't want me to like let me even know that they exist. I bet, like, I think the sports books just wish they could just like disappear off my phone one day forever. And you know, I don't know, seriously. I never get, I mean, I remember like opening up accounts and like getting all these promotions and things like that, which I encourage everyone to, you know, go shop around, find the best promotions and take advantage of them for sure. But yeah, I mean, once you become profitable, like free bets, profit boosts, like all of that just completely goes away. Like, they don't want to send you any notifications anymore. They stop talking to you, they stop offering you things. Yeah, no. Yeah, they don't, sportsbooks get real quiet when you start winning. They they get real quiet. All right, so I did just want to pair some cannabis strains with some NFL teams. I figured out a few that I thought just kind of paired perfectly together. So as you're enjoying these games, as you're smoking some cannabis, could just, you know, think about, hey, what strain kind of goes with my team? This is just for fun, being silly. So we're gonna sit back, relax, let's win some wagers today, and look at cannabis strains. So I was thinking Green Bay Packers, the strain that pairs perfectly with the Packers, Northern Lights. It's just such a classic strain. It never goes out of style. And just like Lambo, Under the Winter Sky, it's legendary, steady, and of course, best enjoyed cold. So I thought Northern Lights would go perfectly there. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, and the sports books, it's like they just start glitching on you. Like, they make it harder for you to get it. Like, I know it sounds fake when when I'm saying this, but seriously, like if you start really winning, like they make it really hard for you to just, they just put 10,000 roadblocks to even like get into your account. And then once you're in there, it's like you start glitching things. And you know, maybe part of it is like, well, I need to update my apps. I never do that. Like I hate doing that, but I don't have them updating automatically either, because I don't know. Just not a thing I like to do. And yeah, they just stop giving you anything. Like they really want you to forget that they even exist. Okay, so Kansas City Chiefs. I paired that with the Alaskan Thunderfuck strain. Yeah, because they're explosive, they're notorious, like everyone knows the Chiefs, of course, impossible to ignore. And yeah, so just like Mahomes pulling off a no-look touchdown, Alaskan Thunderfuck hits hard, and of course it'll just like leave you happy, leave you smiling. Now, let's look at the Cowboys. I paired them with Blue Dream. So, this is America's Team meets America's Strain. Blue Dream. It is a classic. It's smooth, popular. You can pretty much find this in every single dispensary, Blue Dream. And it's just a crowd favorite, for sure. Just like the Cowboys, for sure. And let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. I paired them with Sour Diesel. It's fast, loud, intense, a little grit. So this is just perfect, I thought, for Philly, for their just, you know, intense energy and fan base that is always out there supporting the Eagles. I see everyone in Eagles gear all the time now. It's getting crazy, but I love it. I love it. Like seriously, growing up in Vegas, where I mean, I know we have a Raiders now in Vegas, but like growing up, there was not like a football team, so I'm kind of enjoying seeing like the whole team spirit thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, especially just because it's not something I'm used to. Seriously. Yeah. Hopefully none of them get hurt or ejected. That was so crazy seeing that happen like right away in this Eagles game. I was like, all right. Okay, guys, don't come after me for this one. This is all just fun games after all. I paired the Cleveland Browns with the train wreck strain. Sorry, guys. This is just because it's chaotic, heavy, wild. 1 minute you're going along fine, next minute it's a full-blown disaster. And I thought this kind of describes the Browns in, well, a nugget. Oh gosh, did I really pull up like the smallest nugget? A nugget. All right. And all right, looks like we don't have some Browns fans in the audience. All right. And Dolphins. I paired the Dolphins up with Pineapple Express because it's tropical, it's fun, kind of flashy, just like their uniforms, and high octane offense. I think it's just kind of sunshine in a puff, so that's why I paired the Dolphins with Pineapple Express. That's funny, Super James. Yeah, all right. So now I realize it is getting a little late. I do need to get the morning report out. Let me just go over all of the plays that I like for today. We'll just run through them once more. Hopefully you locked in this early Seattle money line play. I love this one. This over was looking like it was developing. That game already started. 1 o'clock, this Yankees run line is looking super, super solid. Then finally moving on to football. Love this Cardinals spread. Loved it all week. Love this Broncos spread. If you want to ladder it, looks like we have a lot of people laddering it in the audience here. So this is going to be really fun, really fun. Also, I'm really loving this under in this Texans-Rams game, sitting at 43.5 in most spots. But yeah, look around, and For you action players out there, I do have a lean, and that is the under in the 49ers Seahawks game. So those are all of my plays that are looking super, super solid today. Of course, the last one is a little bit more of an action play, so just remember that. And let's have a great day. I'm ready to win some wagers. I'm glad you guys had fun during this whole like cannabis strain pairing thing. And I hope you do really well. Have some fun watching football today. And I think it's just going to be a great day to have a great day. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up to this live stream. Remember, join my free daily report email. It does go out every day. We're almost at 800 consecutive days of sending this daily report out, which is absolutely crazy to me because I can't believe like we build up such a solid sports betting community and we're all helping each other out. It's also the best way to reach me and really just reply back to any of the emails. I'll reply back as soon as possible. All these emails contain the sports news, contain analysis of the line movement, my plays of the day, which of course are always super solid, and of course a little picture of me at the bottom of the email, just a little pic, a little fun. And yeah, it's free. It goes out every day. You don't get spam or ads, or if you don't get it, make sure to check your spam folder, of course. But yeah, you can reply back to me. It's the best way to stay in touch with me through these emails. And if you haven't subscribed to my Substack, please do so. I love writing these long, in-depth articles about sports betting, also about health, all kinds of things. So make sure to go to arielcalista.com or arielcalista.substack.com, and that is my Substack. So just right here, spelled the same way. Super easy to just join and read some of my content. All right. Absolutely. Yes. Callie who? Oh, now I see the message. I'm like, it wasn't showing up here for a second, but now it did. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the stream today. Just remember, my new shows are Thursdays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Good luck on all of your wagers, and I will see you all next time. Please leave a thumbs up on your way out and follow along if you haven't already. Good luck today, everyone, and let's do some winning.